All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Coffee. I'm your principal, Adam O'Kelke, your host today for Morning Coffee on this fabulous Wednesday, the 21st of April. And with me, as always, my co-host, our administrative assistant, Sylvia Biondich. And it's a special day. We celebrated Sylvia's birthday on Morning Coffee last week, I think, or the week before. And then this week, today happens to be Administrative Professionals Day. Happy Administrative Professionals Day to the most outstanding administrative professional on earth. We appreciate you so much, Mrs. Biondich. How are you doing? How are you doing today?
Thank you, Principal Mokelke. I'm doing very well. It was very nice to be greeted with treats and appreciation and smiles and a song as you entered the building. That was the best ever. So thank you for that great song coming down the hallway.
I'm glad you appreciated being serenaded with a song on Administrative Professionals today. I bet folks out there didn't know that there's actually a Happy Administrative Professionals Today song. Did you know that? Did you know that, Mr. B? Yeah. Strangely enough, it is to the exact same tune of Happy Birthday.
I was thinking it was going to be, Did You Ever Know That You Were My Hero?
Oh, that would have been a good one. I have serenaded staff with Wind Beneath My Wings before. It's a beautiful rendition if you haven't heard it. Usually I do it from my knees. Sometimes in a classroom full of kids where a teacher really needs to be lifted up. I spared you that today, Sylvia.
Oh, thanks for putting it in his head, Mr. B.
Good old Bette Midler. She's amazing. I do want to let you all know that STrEaM Academy empowers students to be involved learners, critical thinkers, and engaged citizens, inspired by the natural world. I also want to share my deep appreciation that we are walking on the lands that Dena'ina Athabascan people have called home for over 1,000 years. And we are honored and privileged to live, to teach, to walk these lands. And we continue that legacy by teaching students to be good stewards of their environment, continuing the tradition of honoring and respecting these lands. Thank you. What's on the agenda today? We have upcoming events and updates for y'all that we'll talk about. We have our 7th grade, half of our 7th grade team, half of the Knights of STrEAM. The science and math cohort, Mr. Holsopple and Mr. Bierer, are with us to share what's happening in 7th grade. We will see if we have an update from our counselor, Miss Bonertz, and she's been super busy this spring. Lots going on in her world. We're super grateful for her and for all her work. We'll touch base on health and safety, see if there's any updates or anything new that Mr. Holsopple wants to share, or Mrs. Biondich, or I can just kind of give a quick update on that. I do want to spend some time this morning letting our 501c3 talk more about the upcoming basket auction. I've been watching these baskets roll in and they are amazing. I see Ronell Watts is with us, and the baskets that the Watts family has put together are fabulous, phenomenal. Mr. Holsopple, I saw the baby basket that you folks put together, and it's just unbelievable. It's literally everything. If you know anyone who's expecting, there's everything you could possibly want and need to have a baby in those baskets. And it's unbelievable. Like, we're not exaggerating. That's what Dr. Holsopple said, right? This is everything you could possibly need when you have a baby. So the baskets are just phenomenal, and I'm so excited about our basket auction. There's so much value. People put so much into these. It's just unbelievable. We'll get a rundown of what those baskets and how that online auction will work, and get a little preview of that. Upcoming dates to remember. Next week is unbelievably somehow the last week of April already. I just can't believe that. We do have Spirit Week next week, and I don't know if we have a slide or if we can add in some Spirit Week information, but I know we'll be sending that out to families as well. We also have decided, as busy as the end of the year is and having folks, back in person, kind of sort of transitioning out of Zoom online life and back to real life, we've decided it's time to wrap up morning coffee for the year. So next Wednesday will be the last morning coffee of this year. I don't know what morning coffee will look like in the future. I know that a lot of parents and community members have asked that we continue it in some form. And it may be in August that we do it in person. That once a week we get some carafes from Kaladi and some snacks. And after school starts, we can sit around the lobby or the auditorium and talk about what's happening at STrEAM and give parents that opportunity to come in. I'd love to do that if we can work that out. So I don't know what it'll look like in the future, but I know that we'll just try to continue because it's been such a nice thing to have. And then we're coming up real quickly on this date, the 20th of May, the last day of school. So things are quickly snowballing, rolling downhill. We'll have our traditional last day of school field day. This year, because of COVID protocols and abundance of caution and safety, we're not going to do a whole school event. And so that's a change from years past. We asked each grade level team to decide on a field day location and field day activities. So 6th grade will be right here on campus and using Arnold Muldoon Park, our backyard. 7th grade, we might hear more about that today from some of our 7th grade teachers that are presenting. 7th grade's going over to Chugach Foothills and 8th grade's going over to Cheney Lake. Those are locations we've traditionally visited and spent a lot of time in at STrEAM. So very familiar locations and really awesome field days planned for that last day of school. So just a little bit more on the field days on the last day. 8th graders will be walking to Cheney Lake. So any 8th graders or any 7th graders that don't have their walking field trip permission form in, there's a few, would not be able to attend that event. So it's really important that you follow up on that notification and do that field trip form. Mrs. Bionich made all of our permission forms online. She put them all on Google Forms. So you don't have to find that piece of paper in your child's backpack and uncrumple it and figure out how to get it back to us and have it get lost along the way. You just go online, make some clicks, say you're okay with your child walking off campus with us, and you're good to go. 7th graders, like I said, walking trip to Chugach Foothills, and 6th graders will be doing fun things on campus and in the park. Our goal is to stay safe while engaging in fun activities outdoors. Just a quick reminder that today is Working Wednesday. Students do have virtual classes. They are required to log in, check in with their teacher, get some direction on the assignments that they're working on, projects they're working on, or even on what to do with Alex and iReady. So touch base, check in, do attend your Zooms today. Do have students attend their Zooms today. They are required classes. All right, I've done plenty of talking already this morning. I'm going to take a break and drink some coffee, and Mrs. Bionich is going to talk more about this incredible online basket auction from our 501c3, and we really want to make sure we get the word out. I think my big ask would be, as you see things come out from the nonprofit, staff, students, board members, as you see things come out, share those, share with everyone in your circle. Share with everyone you have on email, share with any groups you're a part of, share on your social media. Please share the link to the auction and the information about the online auction, because these baskets are, I'm blown away. I'm not saying that for effect or to like, I'm being 100% honest. I'm genuinely blown away by what our staff and students and volunteers have done with these baskets. They are so far beyond what I thought we were going to do. So enough from me. Mrs. Bionich, take it away. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to be quiet for a minute. Tell us more about this online basket auction, please.
Yeah, absolutely. The 501c3 is super excited to host this event. You know, we attempted to do this last year, and what happened was the pandemic. And so we had to cancel. It was going to be a silent auction, a traditional silent auction that was going to be in the foyer and during another end of year event here at STrEaM. And we were just going to have people bid on baskets. Well, that can't happen. And because that can't happen, we had to think a little bit creatively. Well, it turns out that there is another nonprofit that runs a website that hosts online auctions. And they do it for a donation fee based only. So we can give them as little or as much at the end as we want, or as someone bids on a basket, if they want to add a donation, they can do that, but it's not required. We got very, very lucky with the support in our community for providing baskets. And we've started setting up the website. I'll share the website with you guys so that you can see what it looks like. It's hosted through Better World. Are you seeing that, Mr. Mokelke? Good. So this website that's hosted through Better World is very easy to find, and we'll have the link out so that you guys can check the link at any time, that you can pass the link. We'll email it to you. We'll put it on Facebook. We'll put it on Twitter. We'll throw something on Instagram so that everything is shareable. We have been doing a couple of Facebook Live events, and we'll continue those events through the auction. When you get to the website, you can just click down and see all the different categories. Now, we still have a whole bunch of baskets that have not made it to the photographer yet. The cohort baskets and the last bit of the community baskets just came in this week. They're actually encompassing me right now. I did a Facebook Live event on Tuesday to tell you guys that my office is so full. The front office never would have been able to handle this last year. So it's probably a good thing we expanded this year, Principal Mokelke. So here's what our website looks like. And you can see all the different categories. There's going to be one of the categories is going to be cohort baskets. And that's where you'll be able to see all the baskets that have been created by our students. They are competing. Our cohorts are competing for the number of bids they get on their basket. And the winning cohort will be able to get a party at the end, probably during field day, they'll have something, or the week prior to field day. So if you need to click on a basket to find out more of what's in a basket, you from the website, you just click on it, and then information pops up. It tells you a little bit about it, and it tells you what's in the basket. So you'll be able to see that, for instance, the car wash basket has a bucket and car wash and all of these things that are listed down here in the overview. The starting bid on this basket is $20, but the estimated value of this basket is actually $50. So that's how you navigate the website. And we'll put this link out. You can see the link on the top of the screen there. And I threw one in the chat box if you're on Zoom. And I'll throw one in the chat box for YouTube here shortly so that our audiences can see that as well. I'm going to stop sharing real quick. We also have so many baskets in the front office, you guys. We have baby baskets, and we have camping baskets, and we have the Reader's Delight basket is in the office. And one of the STEAM baskets, I got to tell you, the Knights of STrEaM went out of their way. The Knights of STrEaM did the phenomenal gathering of supplies. And so both of the 7th grade cohorts from the Knights of STrEaM, instead of featuring one basket, are featuring 2 baskets each. They are bound and determined, the 7th grade class, to win the number of bids and win that class party. But we also have a bunch of community baskets that were made too. We have a dog basket a dog bed that's being made and filled with dog supplies for a big dog. And then we have a dog basket TD edition which evidently means tiny dog. So we have the tiny dog edition dog basket. We have a cat basket. We have a bird watching basket, which has this phenomenal set of binoculars in it. Like it's unbelievable. It hasn't been made to look pretty yet, but it has in a Yeti 12-ounce bottle, and it has the Sports Star Zoom binoculars in it, and then a bird watching guide for our region. And that's the bird watching basket. But then we have all of those that are posted on the website as well. So what happens next is all of these baskets are going to get picked up on Saturday after I get out of mandatory CPR training. On Saturday afternoon, I'm going to come by. We're going to pick up all of these baskets that are left in the school. We're going to haul them to our staging area in East Anchorage. The photographer is going to photograph them. You can see pictures of the process on our Facebook event. If you don't use Facebook, we can figure out another way for you to see all of these great pictures as well. I'll throw an extra page on our website so that you can see it. And after they get photographed, then Ms. Mickelson and Ms. Mickelson is our 501c3 president. And so she and I are creating the website on Better World. And so we'll upload the rest of this stuff to the Better World website, and we'll put out more information. We're having another Facebook Live event on Saturday about 3:30. As we unload all these baskets into the staging area, we're going to go live so that you guys can see what we're dealing with and see all the great things. And we'll get the website built, and we'll update the 501's website, Anchorage STrEAM Academy's website, and the Better World website so that you can see everything. So I look super forward to seeing everybody on Facebook Live. So if on Facebook Live, I'm getting pretty good at this, you guys. Who knew? Almost 60 years old, and I can do Facebook Live. So we, when you go in and watch a Facebook Live event, if you comment or throw me a heart or something, I'll see you and I'll call your name out. So visit with me on Facebook Live on Saturday about 3:30. Principal Mokelke?
Thank you. That was fabulous. I appreciate it. I'm so excited about this basket auction, and I don't know what else to say other than I've been just so blown away by our staff and students and our community volunteers and the baskets they put together. There are a lot of the baskets I have my eye on that I really want. So I'll be bidding away. So the site opens, the website will open on, the bidding will open on the 30th, and folks will be able to just go online and enter their bid.
Yeah, that's how that works. The website's actually live, so you can go and look as we build stuff. If you have a link and you want to look, you can log in and see things as we build it. Yeah, and that's it, Principal Mokelke. We have to do a little bit of cleaning up and making the header look pretty and getting the rest of the baskets loaded. But you can start bidding at 8 o'clock in the morning on April 30th. And the bidding ends at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on May 14th. So May 14th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that's when the bidding closes. At 5:30, we're going to culminate our whole event with another Facebook Live event where we announce the winners of the cohort party and throw out more information about how to pick up your baskets, and for the winning bids, how to pick up your basket and how to move forward from there. Because we're going to have to bring all of those baskets back to the school so that they can be picked up by the winning bidders.
Awesome. Does the website allow folks to pay online, or will they just enter their bid and then write a check or pay directly?
Yeah, so that's a great question. No, this website run by Better World handles all of the finances for us. So we just connect our bank account to it. They monitor the bids. When the bid closes, the last bid, then we'll be able to add their credit card or however their PayPal account, however they want to pay, they'll be able to do that through the Better World website. So no money has to exchange hands between a staff member or a 501 member and a family or a bidder. And anyone can bid all over the world. Now the catch is, is that shipping is not included. So if you are in Ontario and you win a basket that weighs 50 pounds, you're going to have to figure out how to get that basket to yourself, because that's going to be a big shipping cost. But we have supporters in Ontario. Actually, if you're anywhere outside of Anchorage that we can't arrange a drive and drop, you're going to have to figure out how we can get that basket to you.
Yeah, we have supporters all over the United States, Miss Beyondich.
We do.
We have STrEAM mugs that have made it all the way to the West Coast.
We do. We have STrEAM mugs on the West Coast and in Canada and in Arizona. We have them everywhere, all across the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And we have more mugs, so we can sell you another mug if you need one.
We have fans in Chicago, in Fort Myers, Florida, in North Carolina, all over.
We do.
All right. I appreciate our 501c3's efforts so much, and I'm so excited for our basket auction. Not only, folks, of course, we want you to get on and bid on these incredible baskets and the incredible value. What we showed online is not nearly the entirety of the baskets from what I've seen. There are a lot of baskets that have yet to be added and some tremendous things and tremendous values. So, of course, pick the baskets you're interested in and bid on those when it opens next Friday. This Friday? Next Friday. Next Friday. But even perhaps more importantly, when these things are being pushed out, please just share the word and spread the word. Put it on your Facebook page, whatever social media you're on, Twitter, and encourage folks to just go check it out. Because I think if people check it out and scroll through the baskets, they'll go, oh yeah, I really want to bid on this. I know as the baskets have rolled in, I have had like my eyes pop and go, wow, I really want that basket. So, all right. Thank you to our 501c3, our nonprofit, and the basket auction is all the volunteers. It's incredible. Next on Morning Coffee, we have a check-in with two of our Rockstar 7th grade team. Two of so this year, by accident, the four folks that I tapped to be the 7th grade cohort teachers all happen to be gentlemen. And so they have dubbed themselves, the four of them, they've dubbed themselves the Knights of STrEAM. And so we love that. It's a little inside thing here I'm sharing with you. Half of the Knights of STrEAM are with us. Actually, 3/4 of them are with us because Mr. Mosen's here too, because Mr. Mosen loves morning coffee. But half of the Knights of STrEAM are Mr. Bierer and Mr. Holsopple. They are our science and math teachers in 7th grade, and they are here to tell us what's happening in 7th grade. Morning, Mr. B and Mr. H.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for the introduction. I really appreciate that. So our little, we played rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first. And I won, so I get to go first. But I'll start with a question that I'll answer at the end. So think about the answer to this question. How many outcomes are possible when you play rock, paper, scissors? So the total number of outcomes possible when you play rock, paper, scissors. Mr. H and my students all know because we did a little bit of experimenting in class. So but that being said, allow me to show you something that is becoming kind of a thing, I think, whenever we do presentations. So I made a Kahoot. So go ahead, and if you have the ability to join the Kahoot, please join the Kahoot. I forgot to share my sound. All right. Nimble.
Okay. I'm still getting joined here. Don't start without me, Mr. B.
I will not. We'll go about 1 minute from right now. 1 minute from right now.
3282. All right. Got it. I'm in. I lost to Miss Bonert's last time. Oh, it's given me a random nickname too.
We do enjoy the random nickname generator, myself and Mr. Holsopple.
Oh,
we
I
get
got
some
a good one. I got a good one. It fits me.
nice. All right. We got about 15 seconds here, and I'll get started. 15 seconds. I'll get started.
Just so you know, Amy Bonertz, our counselor, is the reigning Kahoot champion on Morning Coffee.
Yeah, we'll see. This is more geared towards math and science, so maybe it's more up someone else's alley. We'll see.
I need a minute to call IT to see if I can slow down everyone else's internet, but not mine.
Indeed, yeah. All right, let's get started. This is just a quick 5-question, and it's a little bit more than math and science, but let's check it out. All right, morning coffee. What is the mean of a set of data? All right, excellent job, everyone. Word. So the mean is the average, the middle number is our median, and the number that occurs most often is the mode. Mr. Holsopple got to use median in his classroom the other day, and the students have made flashcards with the definition. They were able to answer his question of what is the mean of a set of data, so it was awesome. Who's in the lead? Blue Hamster. Blue Hamster. Nice job. All right, next question, also math. How do you find the area of a rectangle?
I was clicking on my morning coffee screen and not on my other screen.
Oh,
Let me answer. I'm not winning today. I'm not fast enough.
It's all right. We can play again. We'll have. You said there's a morning coffee next week, right?
One more, yeah. We'll have to do a final morning coffee Kahoot.
We'll put one together for sure.
STrEAM Academy Kahoot. Be ready next week, everyone, for a STrEAM Academy themed morning coffee Kahoot.
All right. So the area of a rectangle is length times width. I talked with the students. Doesn't really matter what you name the dimensions. If you say height or depth or something, it doesn't really matter. Usually length times width is what we are concerned with. Pi times r squared. That's the area of a circle. And then the third one was a little bit of a misnomer. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width is the perimeter of a rectangle. Perimeter of a rectangle, not the area. And then sometimes I throw in fun ones. Something, area equals something. Anyhow, next one is science. I didn't forget about you, Mr. Holsopple. Ooh, Blue Hamster still in the lead. Nice job. Oh, nice job. Everybody got it. Electromagnetic. I was trying to be pretty clever and throw people with something, but I couldn't think of anything sciencey enough, and I didn't confer with my cohort partner on something that was clever. But electromagnetic is that EM spectrum that they are learning about in science class, or did learn about rather, sorry. All right, the next 2 are actually STrEAM Academy themed, Mr. McKelkey. So these are STrEAM Academy themed. Oh, excellent. We have the mastery assignment. So our MAs in Q are mastery assignments. I put mystery assignment because I thought it was close to mastery. And that was my trick. That was my trick question there. So I got somebody with it. Ooh, moving up the leaderboard. All right. And our last question, again, STrEAM themed. Excellent work. 80%, 80%. So a MA or a mastery assignment is worth 80% of the total grade, meaning the PA or the practice assignment is worth 20%. Let's see who won. Sweet. Blue hamster, nice job. I will say when I first saw smart Ibex or Ibex, I read it as Smartlebex. So that was pretty funny. Silly Pony came in second. Nice job, everybody. Excellent work. Excellent work. All right. So we'll stop sharing that and get into my presentation. So that was just kind of a fun thing that I thought was kind of a thing that we started developing, and I wanted to continue with it. So let's check out our math and Mission class this quarter. So math and Mission, when we think about Mission, that's our mission and vision class. So we kind of came up with that. Miss Gatlin coined that term, and we appreciated it enough to name our class after it. So that's our science projects class. So in Canvas, it's called science projects because it has to be that in Canvas, but we call it a Mission within our classroom there. But as we think about Math 7, we're working on statistics and probability. That's where my mean question came from earlier. So things like mean, median, mode, experimental and theoretical probability. We'll work on independent, dependent events, population and sample. But we're also going to work on a short project here that is going to ask the question, what is fair? So the students are going to do some experimenting, record some data over the rest of the quarter, and then analyze to see if things are quote unquote fair. So one of those things that we're going to analyze is flipping a coin compared to rolling a number cube. So more colloquially known as a die, if you will. But Alex and iReady, these are still important for math as well as reading. Actually, probably a little bit more important for reading because they don't have a English language arts class this quarter. So students should be really working on that iReady reading. And when we think about that, just a reminder, students in the English language arts social studies cohort really should be working on that math iReady. And then also in Alex is a really good online curriculum program that we use here. That we encourage students to keep up with while they're not in math class. But the iReady, they have complete lessons for students. It builds these skills that they may have lost over that time period where they didn't have a math class. That time period was 12 weeks, so between quarter 2 and quarter 4, which is essentially a summer break. So we know that some of those gaps or some of those holes can get a little bit bigger during that time for sure. So please keep up with that as you are working on those. And then when we think about Alex, it's our adaptive online curriculum software. So this takes topics students learn, then it curates them in a way so students can continue building their skills. As they're working through Alex will give them periodic knowledge checks. This would be akin to our mastery assignments in our class. So as we talk about Alex, allow me to show you what's going on there. So this would be a student view of what Alex is working on here. As you can see, I have an up next. So this would be the topic that Alex thinks I'm ready to work on. So I can continue on my path right here. As you can see, I had a couple past due things. Here at STrEAM Academy, we can always retake mastery assignments, or if we miss them, we can take them up until the end of the quarter there. But we do really, grades are done for ASD in May 20, so we do have to finish those up. So as you can see, they're past due, but I can click on them and I'd be able to take these mastery assignments. So this was assigned by me. I gave this mastery assignments to students at the beginning of the quarter here. So they would just work on this. They would figure out how much 1/4 of this figure is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1/4 of it would be 2 8s. So you just pick your tool here. Oops, sorry, pick your tool here. And then you would just shade in those things. If you are uncertain, the students are able to look over here on the right. I give students the option of example. So what example does when you click on that little circle, it gives them a sample question. As you can see, it's not the same question, but what it does is it gives an explanation of how to do the question. So this is a similar question here. So it says we need to shade in. What you have to do is you have to shade in this part. That is the equivalent fraction there, and that's how you get the answer. So there are other options here. So you can click on this more here, and it gives you a little bit more definition as you check out those things. The other thing that students are able to do, they can click on save for later. And what that does is allows them to finish the mastery assignment later if they run out of time or if something happens. So if they click on assignments, they'll have assignments that are listed here. And again, they'll have a due date that they were due. So as you can see, I signed it on April 2nd during class. So I expected it to be done. But then if they finish a mastery and they get something like a 40% on a mastery, what they can do is they can click on that percentage, and then they're able to look specifically at the questions that they missed. So whenever they click on that question, it'll say that's correct. Okay, I don't have to check that out. But what happened here in number two, I can see for some reason I got 20.89 instead of 21.01. Probably what happened is I just messed up those adding parts. That's okay. If I didn't really understand what happened from the correct answer, over on the right, again, we have this little circle over here on the right with the little glasses that has an explanation. So students can get an explanation of how they should have went through that question there. After they are completed, as you can see, I have one attempt. They are allowed to take a second attempt on a mastery. So they can do the quick retake, which only assesses the questions that they missed. They don't have to redo the questions that they got correct. Cool. The other part, if they click on review, this will take them to stuff that they have already done, topics that they have already done. And they can kind of go through and just work on old topics. They're able to review old topics. And then if you click on this little drop-down menu, you can see a list of other topics. So as you can see, you can scroll through. I've reviewed this one. I've also mastered it. It'll let you know if you mastered it or not. This fractions here, adding and subtracting of fractions with different denominators. I did master it, but I haven't reviewed it. So that might be something I could check out again. As they are working through things, it's a good thing to review some of the old topics. Cool. And then I don't really use the calendar too much, but the students, whenever they log on to calendar, as you can see, this is a student view. So this is my account, which I don't really log in and do too much on. But what will happen is if you click on month, and it'll show what they have done every day, how much time they've done, assignments that have been assigned, and then also topics that they have learned or topics that they have mastered. So there's a difference between sitting and having it open in a new tab and then popping over and then getting 50 minutes in Alex, as opposed to 15 minutes in Alex and you mastered 3 of your topics. That's a much more efficient route to work on. So if you're checking in with your students, if you want them to log into Alex, click on that calendar part. So again, it's up in the this hamburger is sometimes what it's referred to, but the menu in the top left. Click on calendar and then click on month, and you'll be able to see what topics they've been working on and also how much time they've been logged in as well. Cool. So that being said, that is it for me on the math end of things. So into Mission class, when we look at Mission, let me change my slide here. When we look at Mission, what we're working on is a science fiction short story with the students. So the students picked a topic in science. They were writing about that topic. So maybe it was time travel, or maybe it was deep sea exploration, things like that. So we did a little bit research on that topic. Then students also create a character sketch and a map of their world as they are building things. And then we'll all put this into a Google site at the end of the quarter, which they'll be able to present as a public product. So they'll have their story along with some character sketches, the map. So this is going to be something that myself and Mr. Holsopple are pretty excited about. And we think we're going to try to do some type of little literary exposition, if you will, online at some point. But that'll take a little bit of planning and figuring out for sure as we move forward with that. It's going to be really cool. So when we think about the situation here, whenever I'm going to spotlight myself here, so I'm the biggest person. What we did is we went through a lesson with the students to create a map. So here is my map that I created in class. And then I have a couple student examples as well. So this one here. And then this was another map that we had as well. Cool. So the students had a really good time with it. It kind of adds an artistic creative side to things. When we talk about math and science, oftentimes we struggle to kind of find those intermoldings because we're kind of hinged on curriculum for a long time. So it was really nice to kind of give that creative release for that. But as Mr. McKelkey said, I've talked for quite a long time here, so I will echo the famed words of Mr. McKelkey there and pass it on to Mr. Holsopple.
Thanks, Mr. B. So I'm the 7th grade science teacher and co-teacher of the Mission class. If you don't know, I'm Mr. H. And I want to share my screen. I don't have a fancy PowerPoint or anything, but I did want to talk about a couple of things. One, I know that Mr. B started talking about MAWS being 80% of the grade, and I have had some parents contact me and ask, so which should I be using to look at my kid's grade? Is it Canvas or is it Parent Connect? It's Parent Connect. Canvas is good for checking on whether or not a student is missing an assignment, but we can't weight grades in Canvas like we can in Parent Connect. So this is sort of what it would look like for a science student. They've had 4 mastery assignments, and 4 mastery assignments into that 80% category. You can see that the mastery assignments take up a lot of the student's grade. The practice assignments are useful for getting them ready for the mastery assignments. But again, they only represent about, at this point, 1.4% of the overall grade. The mastery assignments are really where a student needs to focus their efforts and their energies. The practice assignments get them ready, and then the masteries, they can really shine on those things. So if you are working with your student and you notice that there is one missing assignment, but it's a mastery, that one assignment is going to have a huge impact on your student's grade. But grades aren't everything. We really do care about their learning. And so there are a couple structures I wanted to point out in Canvas. So here is my, and I'll go to student view real quick. This is my announcement slide page in Canvas that is really helpful for students and for parents. What is going on? So you can see that I have an announcement for every day in here. So my reminders are always posted at 7 a.m. on the morning of. that day, so you can see as a parent, as a student, exactly what is happening in class. So if I click on this, for example, we have our schedule, the links to our Zoom sessions here, a link to check their grades, and I have a what we're learning this week. So if there's ever any question about, hey, what'd you do in school today? I don't know. I don't know. Well, yes, you do, because we have this announcement right here, and it says every day what we're doing, and includes links to those specific assignments that we are doing in class that particular day, including any reminders to, oh, we have a mastery assignment and we need some supplies to bring in. So this would be a good place for parents and students. I go over these every day with students at the start of class as well. But parents, if you are wanting to check in on what your student is learning and get more than I don't know, I sat in class, this is where you can get that. We do have a couple of masteries. I know that I showed you that there were 4 mastery assignments. The first 3 were associated with a project where students were able to create a brochure. They set an object in motion. So we're talking about physics and Newton's laws and energy. And so a student here gave me permission to show her work. And so this is a brochure, so you can think about this as the front cover, this is the back cover, and students have been away from doing a presentation or presenting anything for a year, so I printed these out, they handed it to one other person, and they sort of talked with that one other person about their project, and so they had to talk about how the object moved, how they set it in motion, Newton's first, second, third laws, potential energy, mechanical energy, that all the energy transformations and transfers that occurs, friction and gravity. So they really put all of this science stuff into this project and applied it to setting this one thing in motion. And they had to create their own visuals and their own diagrams to explain exactly how, in this case, the octopus flew through the air. And so that was really cool. So I did a project launch where they did some brainstorming, came up with some of the answers, and then they did their brochure. That was their second mastery assignment, and then their presentation was their third mastery assignment. Being able to talk intelligently about that project that they actually did the research on and put together. So those were the first 3 mastery assignments. Last week we did something that I really enjoy doing, which is junk drawer science. I actually gave students 4 options of devices to build. They could build a straw oboe, they could build a wave machine, but hands down, all but one student built one of these. And this is an air horn out of a straw, a pill bottle, or a medicine bottle, a balloon, which is on the end here, you can see the balloons, and then tape to hold it all in place. And Mr. B knows just how obnoxious and loud these are, because I had all of the students play a little practical April Fool's joke on him, and we were lining up to come back inside from a break, and all of the students pulled out their air horns, and it was this wall of sound. So that was kind of exciting. Anyway, that was our mastery assignment, was to build these devices out of these stuff that you have lying around and to present the science behind it. So what they turned in is a recording, or they had the option of presenting this in front of the class. And they actually talk about how to build it. They talk about how to use it, so they demonstrate its use. They talk about the science behind it, so they're actually presenting about frequency and wavelength and amplitude, and they're talking about how amplitude is volume and frequency is pitch, and they're able to explain the vibrations in the balloon is what actually creates a longitudinal sound wave. So not only are they doing something really cool, they're building this little device. Well, I don't know if little siblings would call it cool, but I think it's really cool that they are able to build it, and not only that, they can explain the science behind it, which is really exciting for me, at least, to be able to see. So this would be an example that they turned in. You can see that this video is about 3 minutes long. It takes that long to explain science in a good way. I don't have recordings of the ones that happened in class. Some students were courageous enough to step up in front of everybody in class and demonstrate their air horn and explain the science behind it. And that was really cool. So that is our sort of science mastery assignment. Those air horns were a big hit. Right now, what we are doing in science is learning about the EM spectrum. Sound is one of the parts of the EM spectrum. It's waves. And we're going to move to visible light and matter next. And that is what so yesterday we talked about thermal energy and heat. Mr. B, I showed slope intercept form. We calculated what the conversion is from Fahrenheit to Celsius using our known freezing and boiling points. We talked about slope intercept form and how to change all that. That was really cool. Students pulled out those flashcards that you had used to figure out what mean is, because thermal energy is total kinetic energy, but temperature is average, or the mean of the molecular motion. So it was a pretty cool math extension there in science. Mr. B, I hate to say it, but science is the useful application of math. So you got to learn the math so that you can apply it in science. It's really, really cool. Coming up next, we have a bunch of projects related to light and how our eyes see. So tomorrow in class, we're going to be learning a little bit more about light as a wave and also as a particle, because it's both. And then on Friday, I'm going to give them some online labs. They can play with laser light. They can play with prisms online. Monday, they get to play with it in real life. And it will be so cool to see them be able to take what they did online and actually do it in real life. And then they'll have like 8 different options of things to build, junk drawer science things. So Friday, your student is going to come home with this, I want to do this on Monday, and hopefully gather some things from the junk drawer. Again, it's going to be little stuff that you have lying around that students can bring in. And I also have things for students who cannot bring those supplies in, and will be able to play with light and build some things. Coolest thing would be an infinity mirror. I had a student who built one last quarter when we were entirely online. So looking forward to that. I also did want to talk or just touch briefly on field day as a representative of the 7th grade Knights of STrEaM. We are going to Chugach Foothills. We are going to set up a rotation. There are going to be 4 stations. We're going to do something very, very active. We're going to do so ultimate frisbee is going to be that activity, and then we're going to do something that's a little less active, yard games, and then we're going to do something that is just chill, board games, card games, and then we're just going to have an unstructured time at the playground. And so students will just rotate through those stations with one of the Knights of STrEaM as that leader on that station. So if there are other grade levels who are vying for our yard game or other equipment, we're going to propose a jousting tournament because we are the Knights of STrEaM, and if we win, we get the supplies. So Mr. McKelkey, you'll have to set up that tournament for us.
I'd be glad, because in medieval times, the king is the one who oversees the jousting tournament. So feeding my ego here, Mr. Holsopple. I'm looking forward to seeing which of the Knights of STrEaM wins the joust.
It won't be me.
I wasn't able to procure a horse. I only have a mule. I hope that's all right.
We can use bikes, and we can use padded jousting lances with pillows or giant cushions on the end, so we don't do too much damage. I think this might be an event that students and families would pay to see.
I think this might be an event that risk management says can't happen.
Risk management might not let us do this, but we like to blur that line here. If it makes risk management uncomfortable, then STrEAM Academy's being STrEAM Academy. All right, thank you, Mr. Holsopple. Is that do it for the half of the Nights of STrEAM?
I think so. I apologize for my screen sharing flop earlier when I was working on Alex. It sounds like nobody saw what I was doing. So I apologize about that.
No worries, Mr. B. I do want to give a couple more 7th grade shout outs. Number one, I said 3/4 of the Nights of STrEAM were with us on screen because I could see their faces. All 4 of the Nights of STrEAM are with us. Mr. Perkins is there with Mr. Mosen working. He's in the room with him. He's just not on camera. He's in the background being incognito, but all 4 of the 7th grade teachers are with us. Great job, folks. All 4 7th grade teachers. The whole 7th grade has been really incredible this year. Done an amazing job with students. Hopefully you see in my screen, is it still the 7th grade slide? Yeah, okay, good. Technology. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Great work. I enjoyed the Kahoot. I enjoyed learning a little bit more math and science and hearing about the noisemakers, the air horns. I got to hear a demonstration of Mr. Holsopple's students using their handmade air horns. It's pretty cool.
So just to touch on the April Fool's joke, just for future reference, Mr. Holsopple, April Fool's Day is not April 19th.
This was payback for the April Fool's joke you played on me.
Oh,
we'll call it that.
Fair enough.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I also want to point out that the winner of the Kahoot this week is Mr. Holsopple. He came in and nabbed it. So good job. I will have a STrEAM Academy historical and a deep dive STrEAM Academy themed Kahoot for our final morning coffee. The winner of that will get some STrEAM swag. We'll mail or deliver some STrEAM swag to the winner of that Kahoot. So brush up on your STrEAM Academy knowledge. Mrs. Yip, Miss Watts, brush up on your STrEAM Academy knowledge and be ready to win that Kahoot, win that swag next week. All right, moving towards the end of morning coffee, we'll get a couple quick updates. Miss Boners, do you have anything that folks need to hear from you?
Yeah, I wanted to share about Spirit Week. Can you let me share my screen?
I will do that. Hold on one second. Okay, you should have the power.
I restarted my computer today and everything seems to be just a touch slower. Here we go. All right, so I do want to share this. I just published this on my website. I also posted the Spirit Days on my Canvas page as well. Teachers will be getting this poster, but I wanted to let all the parents know that next week is Spirit Week, and it's not just dressing up. It's also different activities for kids to spread that positive energy. We definitely need it after a year of at home to reconnect to our fellow humans. So we have Mindful Monday, come comfy in pajamas. We're gonna do a really quick mindful practice at the beginning of the day for everyone. To Compliment Tuesday is Rainbow Day, so have kids dress up in rainbow colors or a sweatshirt with a rainbow on it or something like that. And then give 2 different friends a compliment. Wacky Wednesday, all the kids will be at home, so crazy hair and face paint for your Zoom classes. Share a picture of yourself doing something wacky. Thankful Thursday, thank a teacher or a staff member, and the dress day is monochrome, so that means dress in all the same color. Fun Friday is cosplay or Halloween day. I know that the students were really bummed that we didn't have Spirit Week during Halloween, so they're like, what about Halloween comes early? So Halloween costumes, and then we'll provide a special treat for every student at the end of the day. Should be a really good time, should be a great way for all of us to connect. And then furthermore, there's a competition. So each student who dresses up will get a point for their cohort for that day. Teachers for that cohort will also get a point for them. And then at the end of the week, the cohort with the highest percentage of spirit participation will win a prize at the end of the year. So I'm pretty stoked about it. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Bonarts. Appreciate your updates. That brings us close to winding down for morning coffee for today. Mr. Holsopple, is there anything very quickly we want to say about health and safety before we wrap up?
Yeah, I did want to say that the pandemic is still happening. It is still a thing. It's still super important that we take our health seriously, especially the mental health of our youth. And then here in Alaska, we don't necessarily have all of the resources that the lower 48 does. So we do need to make sure that we are adhering to our health and safety plan. So please encourage your sons and daughters to really put an effort into wearing their masks correctly, to paying attention to their spacing and their distancing, and making sure that they are not breathing the air of someone else. You have that quote on there. So don't breathe the air of someone else. This aerosolized virus, this is how we get it. We really want to prevent that. Let's keep our kids safe.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Holsopple. I appreciate that. And we do need to stay the course. This pandemic is not over. COVID-19 is still very real and a very real danger and threat to health and safety and to our children. We need to stay the course with this. We need to finish out the school year and spend our summer doing things safely and doing things the right way. Thank you. All right, that does it for morning coffee today. Great presentations from our 7th grade teachers. We had an update, which was really exciting about the basket auction, heard from our counselor, talked about our health and safety. It's a great way to spend Wednesday morning with you all. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate everyone being with us on our YouTube audience and our staff and friends that are here on Zoom. We will say goodbye. Have a great day, everyone. It's beautiful outside in Alaska right now. Get outside every day. Find a reason, find